Mars is cold, gloomy, and covered in dust. And if we want to live there without turning into an ice cube, we need to warm it up. So what if we just install a giant mirror to reflect sunlight down to the surface? Can we terraform Mars using giant mirrors? Let's find out. How cold is Mars? The average temperature on Mars is about minus 60 degrees Celsius. At the equator during the day, it might hit 0 degrees Celsius, but at night, it drops to minus 90 degrees Celsius. At the poles, it's even worse, down to minus 125 degrees Celsius. Why is it so cold? The atmosphere is very thin. It doesn't hold heat well. The sun is farther away, so less solar energy. The surface doesn't retain warmth. To make Mars livable, we need to raise the temperature by at least 50 to 60 degrees, or at least create some warm zones. What if we hung a giant mirror? What if we placed a huge space mirror in orbit above Mars and used it to reflect sunlight directly onto the planet? Sounds kind of logical. What would that look like? With a mirror, we could increase solar light in certain regions, start melting the polar ice caps, kick off a greenhouse effect, cause frozen CO2 to evaporate and thicken the atmosphere. It's like giving the planet a giant cosmic tanning session. How big would the mirror need to be? To noticeably warm Mars, the mirror would need to be at least the size of Texas. Better yet, the size of Australia. Sunlight on Mars is about half as strong as on Earth. So to double the sunlight in one area, you need to reflect a huge amount of energy. If the mirror is metallic, it would weigh millions of tons. Even if it's ultralight, like a mylar film, we're still talking thousands of tons. And you need to deliver it, unfold it, and keep it in stable orbit. What could go wrong? Several obvious problems. Orbital control. The mirror has to stay aligned over the target. Solar wind and gravity can push it off course. It could melt if it gets too close to the sun. It could overheat regions, frying Martian sand. And let's not forget the infamous Martian dust storms, which can last for months. In that case, your mirror just ends up beaming sunlight onto a giant red cloud. Could it actually work? Believe it or not, the idea isn't new. Scientists have seriously considered orbital mirrors as part of terraforming plans, not for warming the entire planet at once, but for targeted heating, like melting specific glaciers, triggering local greenhouse effects, slowly altering climate in controlled zones. With multiple mirrors, it could be the first step in terraforming Mars. Conclusion. So, can we terraform Mars using giant mirrors? In theory, yes. In practice, it would be insanely difficult. But Stickman's going to try anyway. In short, Mars is cold, mirrors are huge, controlling them is hard, but they might help change the climate, just don't forget the sunscreen. Even on Mars,